All right, we're good to go. All right, I am going to mute everybody just so we don't have background noise. If you have a question, feel free to unmute yourself, or you can type it in the chat down at the bottom. Any questions that you have. So please don't hop on off tonight without getting any of your questions answered, okay? So hang on one second. Okay, good to go. Okay, thank you guys for hopping on tonight. We're excited for this. All right, so my name is Jessica Harsha, and I think I know most of you, but not all of you. So a little bit about myself. I started It Works it was 2 years ago. July 30th was my 2-year anniversary. I was working as a pediatric nurse. My husband is a middle school principal, and really I just got started because I wanted an extra $500 a month. Some fellow nurses were doing this, and I was super duper duper skeptical, but I was like, they're happy and they're having a lot of fun and they're making money quickly. What is happening? So I kind of just watched, and I didn't let them know I was watching because, people just don't do that. I think that's one of the things we're going to talk about tonight is you never know who's watching you, and people are always watching you. So make sure that you're consistent with your business, because you will have people come out of the woodwork sometimes that you're like, what? You've been watching me? So anyway, I was watching silently for a while, decided to join, like I said, to make an extra $500 a month. What people didn't know was that Andy and I had a lot of credit card debt, and I was just really hoping that I could work less and be home with my kids more. And that was my goal. And that is exactly what has happened. In less than a year, I was able to retire from nursing. We've paid off that credit card debt and student loans. We're able to help family, and it's just been the biggest blessing ever. I love the people. I love the culture. I love the friendships. I love the freedom and the time that this has given me. It was completely unexpected, and I truly can't imagine my life without it. And I think you're going to hear similar stories from the other ladies tonight as well. But I just want you to get excited. I want you to feel so excited about what you have your hands on right now, because you're in a time where network marketing, guys, is truly the way of, like, truly the sales of the future, okay? As we know, like, so many of these huge stores that have been around our whole lives are crumbling. I think before we know it, malls are going to be non-existent. We live in an Amazon Prime kind of world, and network marketing is just really huge, and it's going to get bigger. So you have your hands on something incredible right now. It Works is truly, writing history right now. If you don't already know what you're a part of, It Works is an almost 17-year-old debt-free billion-dollar company. We're in 20 or 21 countries now, with a few more coming very soon. So get excited, feel proud about what you're a part of. We're a Christian-based company that really, truly lives that. You're a part of a culture with the CEO that cares so much about us, and they go above and beyond to make sure that we live debt-free lives, that we have the freedom of time in everything that we dream about. So you truly can make this opportunity anything that you want to. So what I would say is put the time in now, guys. Like, get excited now, put in the effort now, learn all you can now, and run with this opportunity. I think that would be my biggest tip to you tonight, is to run like your life depends on it, because it does. Because you truly can change the course of your family's future in a very small amount of time, whether it's time, financial gains, friendships, whatever you join this for. It's all possible, and it's all, like, right there at your fingertips. So just go get it. Okay. And I also want you to know is that it's okay to ask questions. You're going to have a million questions. And I still, to this day, guys, 2 years into this business, I still ask questions almost every single day. And I personally love when people come to me and are like, hey, can you explain this? Or can you help me with this post? Or what does this mean? Can you help me with this? I'm kind of confused. Questions mean that you want to learn, and questions mean that you're growing your business. So don't ever feel like you're bugging somebody or that you shouldn't ask a question. Please do. And that's what I love about our team, is that we're all here to help you. You have seriously so many people that are cheering you on and that will help you every step of the way. So use us. Go to us. We are a resource to you. and we want to help you. Okay. So I think tonight my biggest tip to you, or my biggest key to this business, people ask me all the time, like, well, what's the key? Like, how did you get successful? What do you think the keys to this business are? And I'm going to tell you, it's consistency and it's excitement. I think for me, the reason that things happened quickly for me was that I was so freaking excited from day one. And I had no idea what I was doing. And there's still some days that I still feel like I don't know what I'm doing. But I'm like, I'm still going to go. I'm running. Let's go. But just run with it. You don't have to have it all figured out. You don't have to know what you're doing to just get excited about what you have your hands on, and just run. And we will help you along the way. So just get excited and don't let your momentum slow down. I think so often we get excited in the beginning, and then like maybe a month or two goes by, or heck, a year or a week, it doesn't, whatever it is. And you're like, you kind of let that momentum slow down, and then it's hard to build it back up again. So run like your hair's on fire. All right. Like that's my biggest tip to you, is just go and have fun with it. So tonight I want you to make sure that you take some notes, because I'm going to give you guys, we're all going to give you guys some things that will hopefully help you, just make things simple for you, and just kind of some things that we would really focus on when we were getting our business started. So take notes, ask questions. Like I said, unmute yourself or put it in the chat if you have questions. So one of the main things that you need to do right away, if you haven't yet, is really, 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 really think about what your why is. And that is why you joined this business. What do you want this business to bring to your life? And you're going to oftentimes hear us say to you, if your why doesn't make you cry, it's not really your why, because I want you to dig deep. Sarah is a great example of this, and she'll tell you about this a little bit ago, but when she got started, she really just wanted to take her family on vacation. That was like her why. But pretty quickly after that, she kind of realized that, it was more than that, and once you figure out really what drives you, and you think about your why on the days where you don't feel like posting, or you're just like, or I don't know what I'm doing, or nobody has responded to my messages this week, or nobody's liking my posts, you can get in your head, right? Like you can get in your head and put those thoughts in, like, well, maybe I'm not good at this. Maybe this isn't for me. But what I want you to know is that if you have a strong enough why, it doesn't matter what's going on in your life, it will push you through those times where you're doubting yourself, okay? Because we all do that. So really, truly think about what your why is. And if it is financial, be specific with it. How much are you looking for? What exactly do you want? I want you to, in your eSuite, guys, under documents, there's actually like there's a monthly income chart on there. And I really want you to look at this, and I want you to tell your enroller what you want to be at. Like, hey, I want to get to Diamond and make $2,000 a month. Hey, I'm really pushing for, Presidential, that's $16,000 a month. I'm really going for Ruby, that's an extra $500 a month that so many of us joined for. So I really want you to look at that income chart, find what speaks to you and what you need or what you want for your family. And then we know, if I know that you're going for double diamond and you need that $6,000 a month, I'm going to do it. I'm going to help you get there. I'm going to push you. I'm going to, give you all the tools that you need to get to double diamond. So think about that. And that's the main thing that I want you to start with in this business is why. Okay. Let's talk about some of the tools that you have. So sometimes I will do like a screen share and show you your actual eSuite, but we don't want to take up a ton of your Sunday night tonight. So I'm going to give you some things to write down for you to make sure that you're checking out on your website. I have done a few videos of specifically showing you and going through your eSuite. So if you want to see those, let me know and I can make sure that I tag you on those or send those to you. Okay, so first things first, let's talk about some of the team pages that you should be in. Make sure you're in these groups, and if you're not, please let your enroller know so that we can get you added. You should be in Boss Babes. So that's like me on down is Boss Babes, okay? So you should be in that. Diamond Dreams is my fellow Presidential Diamond teammates, which are Brittany Landrum and Trista Marshall. We have kind of combined out all of our collective teams together into Diamond Dreams. So you should also be in that one. There is a page called Signing Loyal Customers and Distributors. And we set this page up specifically for those of you who are just crazy busy, like so many of us are, and so many people, who start this business are working full time. So Signing Loyal Customers and Distributors is a page just full of pictures and post ideas for you. So if you're ever, at work or whatever, you're just having a brain fart, you're like, I don't know what to post today, go to that page and get some ideas. That's exactly what it's there for you to use, because we don't want you to have the excuse of I'm not posting because I don't know what to post, or that I don't have time to post, because it's all right there for you. Okay, so make sure you utilize that. Hang on. Okay, yes, good. I'm glad you like that, Trace. Okay, and then there's also a new page set up that's called First 25 Posts, and that is 25 days worth of business posts, because we talk about, and we're going to talk about this tonight, Ashley's going to talk about posting, but we talk about posting for customers and distributors, right? Because we want both to be interested. The first 25 is all business related posts. Mostly so that you can know what to post. Because I know getting started, sometimes it's hard, like to talk about the business side of things when you haven't been in long enough to really know what you're talking about, right? So that's what that page is for. So use that. And then I would absolutely positively make sure that you print out these two things. These are going to be on your eSuite. If you log in and go to Documents, this is our Steps to Success, and you're going to hear this about the Steps to Success every single month. Reason being is this is basically the roadmap that they have given us for success. So this is not a requirement by any means. This is just like I said, it's like a treasure map. Like if you want to continue to promote, if you want to continue to build your residual income and grow your team, try to complete a Steps to Success every month. And this is what I look at month after month after month, and I try to do myself. So make sure that you have this printed out, okay? Steps to Success is for trying to find 4 new loyal customers a month and 3 new teammates a month, okay? There are months that you may not fill this out. There are months that you may fill out 2 of these. And again, it's just, it's sales. So it's the ups and downs of the year. But I feel like for me personally, I really wish that I would have started like really looking at this and filling this out at like throughout the month when I first started, because I remember when I started, I was probably 6 months into this business, and I would always hear them talk about Steps to Success, but I really never printed it out. I didn't pay much attention to it because I was like, I already know 4 loyal customers, 3 distributors. I got this. But when I actually started filling it out, like sign a loyal customer and I fill their name out, I put like December 2017 and write their names in as I go. It helps me focus on, okay, I want to make it a goal before the end of the month that I want to find 2 more loyal customers, or I want to find 1 more teammate. It really, really helped me just focus in on what my goal was, okay? So that's something you want to print out, and you also want to make sure that you have a Ruby chart printed out. You can find these in Boss Babes, the Diamond Dreams page, or in your eSuite as well. And your Ruby chart is going to be, like I said, most people join this business for that extra $500 to $600 a month, right? I think we all could agree that would make a huge difference. Ruby is very, very, very attainable. But it's a mind thing. Like printing it out and like looking at what your goal is so helpful. What I would recommend is actually printing this out and filling this in with people that you want on your team. Who's somebody that you would really love to have on your team, whether they're just fun, that they have, they're active on social media, or they could use an extra income. Why is it that you want them on your team? But start filling that in and then, going to them. Lindsay's going to talk to us about that tonight. Okay, let's talk about eSuite really quickly, and then we're going to move on. So a couple things that I would make note of to make sure that you have checked out on your eSuite. I think for me, right away, it was very helpful for me because I know, guys, I understand that we are throwing a lot of information at you. Okay, I completely understand that. And if you're somebody like most of us who never really did anything like this before, it can make your head spin, right? So I don't ever want you to feel that way. And if you do, like I said, ask questions. But the reason we're throwing all this at you is because we want you to have as many tools as possible to be as successful as you want to be with this business. So I'm going to give you lots of things to check out, but I just want you to remember that this is a very, very simple business. It just is finding how you personally want to work it. What's your niche going to be? What are your goals? And just kind of making it your own. But anyway, if you log in your eSuite, and I'm assuming most of you who have already done that, is, get in your website. So you put in your ID and your password, get in. If you haven't already, make sure you've done your tax info that pops up there on the top. That takes you off of commission hold, because if you joined It Works, I'm going to guess you would like to have a paycheck. So make sure you have done that. Also, if you've already signed your spouse, make sure you have done that tax info for them as well. Make sure you log in under their account and do that, because you want them to get paid too. Okay. There's a new training academy on the eSuite that I would absolutely recommend. It's going to be a series of just a couple short videos, but it's going to walk you through the initial steps of getting started as a distributor. And that's just going to be a little icon that says Training Academy. Something that helped me getting started under Document Library there on your eSuite. You're going to have a column of all sorts of stuff. Anything you can imagine is going to be under your Document Library. But what I would do personally, for me, this helped me tremendously because I didn't know anything about these products, was I clicked on product info, and you're going to get an info sheet on every product that we have. I printed those out and I made a folder. Okay, that helped me then initially reach out to loyal customers and ask them if they would try some products for me. I'd go through and be like, oh, that's good for blood pressure. Okay, I'm going to talk to my dad about that one. Hair, skin, and nails, perfect. My aunt's always complaining about her thin hair. And that helped me initially reach out to people. But that, again, if somebody messages you or asks you about a product, that's a great resource to have. It's going to give you all of the ingredients. It's going to tell you who it's good for, what it does. So that's just good info to have for you. And I absolutely would check out our compensation plan. That, again, is going to be under Document Library. You guys, our compensation plan is hands down the best you're going to find. It's bananas. I am not an expert on the compensation plan at all, but there's absolutely, like in the beginning of that, it's going to have some terms, like what's BV and GV and loyal customer. It's going to explain what all of that is, and it's super helpful. So that's under Document Library. And then under Reports, the very first thing that you can click on under Reports is what you're going to use more than anything ever. As you get deeper into the business, there'll be some other tabs that you'll use. But under Reports, Organizational Explorer is going to be your best friend. Okay, that's going to show you what your volume is. That's going to show you any of your loyal customers or distributors that are on your team. It's going to have all of their information on there on one page. So get to know that. But the key with this, guys, is you're not going to screw anything up on your website. Just play with it. Get to know it. There are, like I said, only a couple things that I personally really use. But check it out. See what works for you. Just play with it. And then auto shipment. So your auto shipment is going to be an icon on there as well. So if you've started within the last month, It Works sets up a default for 2 boxes of wraps to run 1 month from the day that you started. If you haven't yet, and if you don't want those wraps to run as your first shipment, you can get in there and change that before that date. Okay. So anytime you want to change anything that you have coming to you monthly, you're going to click on the auto shipment icon. You're going to click edit, and then you're going to take out what you don't want, put in what you want, and then just click save. Okay, it's super duper simple. Here's what I want to say about that though. I would absolutely recommend that you run an 80 BV auto shipment monthly. Reason being is that is going to be a guaranteed paycheck for you. Okay, regardless of what your sales are for the month, regardless if you had a huge month last month, but not so much this month, it's irrelevant. Because as long as you run an 80 BV auto shipment, you're going to get a paycheck regardless, okay? So to be commission qualified, you're going to hear this all the time. To be commission qualified, you have 2 options. You either can have 150 in what we call PBV. That stands for personal volume, okay? And again, you can see that number on that Organizational Explorer page. So 150 in personal volume makes you commission qualified, or run your 80 BV auto shipment. Now, for me personally, I move all my loyal customers. And I know the importance of being a product to the product. So Andy and I run the auto shipment every single month for that reason. You're getting a paycheck. It doesn't matter what happens during the month. It does, obviously, for your paycheck. But being a product to the product, guys, is just huge. Okay, it's absolutely huge. I think the people that struggle the most with finding success in any kind of company like this are people that don't stand behind the products. They aren't using what they're trying to sell, right? So they're not, you want to be able to say that, what your favorite products are. For instance, I live and breathe by our greens. They have changed my life. So what do I sell the most of? The greens, because I talk about them the most because I love them so much. So you're going to want to find some favorites that you're going to talk about a lot, because those are going to be your go-tos. Those are going to be the products that you're going to sell like crazy, because people know how dedicated you are to them. So, okay, I think that's it. All I had on that. So let's switch over to Ashley. Ashley, tell us quickly a little bit about yourself, and then Ashley's going to talk to us about posting.
Hi, guys. Okay, so I'm Ashley Kunkler. I have been in the business now for over a year. I am somebody who never thought they would do something like this, even though I had been a part of another MLM, but I didn't sell it. I was never part of the business. I just got it for the discount. But I never tried a product, and it worked product. I watched Sarah for over a year before I called her out of the blue, and I was like, I want to join your team. What do I have to do? I was sitting in this room right here, and I was like, recently quit my job to stay home, to be a stay-at-home mom, and my husband works really, really hard, and he's a huge Dave Ramsey fan, and he likes saving money. And so I was like, I just need another way to bring home an additional income. So I told her I want to help my sweet husband out. How can I do it? I'm staying home with my baby. And that's why I joined. So something that I love about talking to you guys right now is, if you're part of the Ruby group, you already heard this the other day, but I joined during this time. So I have experience being a newbie right now and not knowing really what to expect with conference coming up. But I joined in October. I didn't sign my first distributor until December. I went Ruby in January, and then I went Diamond in March, which is after conference. So I love talking to you guys about that because it's so doable, and I get so excited because I know that every one of you guys can do it. So anyways, that's a little bit about me. I want you guys to get really excited. You're going to hear a lot of us say just how exciting conference is and how big it is for your business, because it's true. And I'm an example of that. Like my team blew up, my business blew up, all because of what I was doing between now and then afterwards. So that's what I'm really excited about. Okay, so posting. Posting is super, 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 super important for your business if you're going to be growing on social media, which most of us are, right? It's your open for business sign. You have to kind of think of it like if you had a clothing store. If you didn't put that open for business sign, nobody would know if you were open. If you did it one day, like, okay, so let's say you're posting one day, that's your open for business sign, but you didn't post for 2 days. No one knows if you're still doing it. Nobody knows if you're open. Nobody knows. So you wouldn't drive across town hoping that they might be open one day if you're looking at the clothing stores. That's the importance of posting. And I also say, like, messaging is planting seeds and the posting is watering. You're going to water those seeds. That's what it's going to do over the next few months leading up to conference. So it's super, super, super important that you guys are consistent. Like Jess said earlier, you have to be consistent. Because if you're not consistent, people aren't going to know. I mean, people aren't going to go to you. They're going to think that you are fickle, that you're not really in it. You don't believe it. And they'll go to the people that are consistent. So it's super, super important that you're posting every single day. How often do you post throughout the day? I would say probably 3 or 4 times since you're starting out. I mean, you want to obviously have a product post. You want to have a post that is talking about the business. And you also want to show your everyday life. People followed you before, your friends and your family, to see your everyday life. Don't forget about doing that now that you're an It Works distributor. That's super important. So let's see, what are some examples as far as posting for loyal customers? Like Jess just said, if you are not posting about using your favorite products, if you post about your favorite products often, people are gonna be able to go to you, and you're gonna have a really strong opinion about why you love it. I posted in my team chat the other day, and I asked them, you guys, do you know what my favorite products are? And majority of them did. And the reason why is because I consistently post about them. If you guys don't know me or don't follow me, my two favorite products are the chocolate greens and the keto coffee. And I post about it every single morning because I'm using it every single morning. So make sure that you have at least one product that you're using every single day that you're posting about. That way people will be like, why do you love the keto coffee? Or what's up with the chocolate greens? Do they really taste like chocolate? Like, what's going on? And you'll be able to say, yes, this is why I love it. Or you can get your own before and after pictures, like with the hair, skin, and nails. If you guys have not used hair, skin, and nails, get hair, skin, and nails, because it's going to give you before and afters so quickly. Your hair is going to grow, your nails going to grow, your skin's going to look great. It's a really good product. So that's what I would use for loyal customers, is make sure that you're using the products. I also use like product testimonies that I have for my loyal customers. Like I gave a sample of the keto coffee the other day, and I had a potential loyal customer say that she loves it. And so I use that as a product post. Before and afters are really good. I mean, everybody wants to see, if you don't have your own before and afters, you can use other people's before and afters. Everybody wants to see if the products do what they say they do. So loyal customer posting would be before and after, you using the products and product testimonies. For distributors, you always hear us say fun, freedom, and friendships. I would post about how you're having fun in the business. The friendships, obviously you see a lot of the posts from last night. The reason why we post that is because we feel so passionate about it. The friendships for me was something that kind of took me by surprise. Obviously, like Jess said, we're all in this to earn money. But the friendships that come along with this business are just a huge blessing as well. As I just can't talk about the friendships enough, because that's what's so important to me. And obviously the financial freedom. You guys want to talk about, I think last year around this time, we talked a lot about dream boards. I would be posting about what you're dreaming about, what you want from this business, like Jess said earlier. If you want to lose weight, make sure you tell people, I'm, wanting to lose 15 pounds and this is how I'm going to do it. Or this business is going to help me do that because I'm using the products. We want to get a pool next summer. We're working to, save up whatever, $30,000 to put in an in-ground pool, and then show that success when you guys get to mark it off of your dream board. Because like, I think you said this, Jess, like people want to see your successes in this business as well. Another example are these Zooms. Make sure that you're taking a picture of you being on the Zoom and you being plugged into your team, that you are able to learn from other people, even though you're not in the same city. I'm not in the same city. So I use the Zoom as an example of being able to have the support of my team and how I'm learning every single day by being on these Zooms. Anytime that you get a loyal customer, you want to make sure that you're posting your little successes as well. I know that was huge for me leading up to conferences, because I even remember a friend of my mom's messaged me and she was like, how many people are on your team now? Because I was posting every single time I signed a distributor. She's like, because her daughter actually is with another company, and she was like, how big is your team? Like, you are signing somebody every day. So make sure you guys are showing that you're signing loyal customers and you're signing distributors, because that is going to bring attention to your page and to your business. What else did I need to talk about? Oh, make sure that you are being personal. The way that I like to think about this business as far as posting is it's kind of like you're posting your journey. Like Jess said earlier, you may not have success right off the bat, but post about what you want from this business, what it will eventually give you. And then, like I said, when you have those successes, make sure that you're posting about that. Make sure you're posting about your everyday life. If you're interested in dogs, like some of us are, make sure you're posting about your dog or your children and stuff like that. Trying to think, I had it up on, I think that's it. But I think the key to posting, like we said, is consistency. Make sure you're doing it every day. Make sure you have at least one product post, one distributor post. Again, if you have reservations about posting or you can't really come up with stuff for yourself, utilize the team page, utilize your upline, and utilize that signing loyal customers and distributor page. It's everything that we need to be successful in this business is available to us. So make sure that you guys are utilizing it. And if you have questions, again, reach out to the person that signed you or one of the leaders, and we are always, always, always happy to help.
Love it. That's perfect, Ash. Thank you so much. I think something I want to throw in there too is sometimes we can get too excited with our posting. So you definitely, and especially as you know, Facebook is weird. So you don't want to overpost. Okay. And what I mean by that is, first off, you don't want to post more than hourly. Okay. So don't go too crazy. But also I think something that I do personally for myself is I kind of do some homework on my own page at least a couple times a week. And what I mean by that is I pull up my Facebook page because you have to think of that as your storefront. Okay. Like this is your storefront. So if somebody was like, oh, what's she doing? I'm going to click on her profile. You know, what are they going to see? Is it just going to be it works, it works, it works, it works, it works, it works, it works? And they're like, whoa, okay, lady. Or is it going to be it works in my kid, in my dog, and some it works, in a product and some business, and my dog and my kids? So you want to have balance, okay? You still want to make sure you're showing your life. I would be careful of doing too many like recipe shares or funny Facebook videos or things like that because number one, they're super distracting for people. And if you're trying to draw attention to what you're passionate about now, you don't want to fill it with a whole bunch of garbage. You know, fill it with your life. Fill it with, you know, fun things about Christmas and your kids and your pets and maybe your job or your coworkers or whatever. And a funny meme or is fine. But like sharing the Facebook fillers that we all see all the time can get a little distracting and kind of cloud what you're wanting people to focus on. So I would be careful about that. And like Ash said, small successes, guys. Like even if you sold a wrap today for $25 and it put gas in your car, make sure you post about that. I can't tell you the amount of people who have joined my team, not because I've earned $200,000 in bonuses, because that doesn't seem real to people. It didn't to me. But what they want is the fact that I was able to fill up my car today because of It Works. Or I was able to go to the grocery store or buy diapers for my kids. Or you have to remember that the majority of people simply want to be able to afford the common necessities for their family. So posting about simple everyday groceries, diapers, gas, things like that, that is what people need, desperately need right now, guys. So make sure you're sharing those things. As long as, you know, it's fun to post about the big things. But make sure you're not missing those small things because that's really what catches people's attention because they just want to be able to live their life without having to stress every day. Okay. Perfect. All right. Let's talk to Miss Sarah Esch over here. Sarah's going to talk to us about adding to our network and what that means.
Yeah.
Tell us about yourself.
Oh, I am Sarah Esch, and I am a double diamond leader. I've been in the business for a little over 2 years. And when Jess messaged me, I was like, bless her heart. No, I'm not going to do that. And then I just had this moment. I'm like, why not, I guess? I mean, whatever. If I just make a couple $100 a month and it pays for an annual vacation, that's all that I really wanted out of it. Because I like to go on my vacations. And the business kind of just, I didn't take off quickly, I wouldn't say at all. But after I went to conference, so I joined actually, like, I think it was September 29th. And then went to conference in February. And then I kind of like really caught the vision and had some aha moments for sure with just some of the stories that I heard from other distributors. And And so here I am. And it's funny because when I joined the business, I kind of loved my job. And now I'm just going through like a really unique situation with my employer where actually we were acquired and merged. And at first I was supposed to lose my job, and then I was supposed to keep it temporarily. Now they're asking me to stay permanently. But I actually need to decide if like that's even what I want and if I want to accept it. So I think I want to just say it's not necessarily about my story, and someone might say this at some point, but as I talk to you about expanding your network and someone else is going to talk to you about messaging, one of the biggest tips I think that we can give you is to never, ever, ever prejudge someone and whether or not they need this business. I know that like financially, we didn't need this business for us to be able to pay bills or to pay down debt or anything like that. We are not wealthy by any means, but we didn't need this. So I think a lot of times we get hung up on like, they would be offended if I message them. Like they would think that I'm saying that I think they need like to make extra money. That's not necessarily the case. You know, I know some of you on here right now don't necessarily need this business, but people want to do it for different reasons, like the fun and the friendship, or maybe something else. But then also they say that people's lives change every 6 months. So just because things might be great for a family right now, it doesn't mean that in the next 6 months it might not be, or maybe it's a year. And we certainly don't wish anything negative upon anyone. But things happen. Life happens to people. And so even if you just simply message someone and they politely decline, we always say you're planting that seed. They're going to watch you a little more closely. And then if something does happen to where they may need the business, you're going to be at the forefront of their mind. So that's me, plus a tip, plus a bonus tip that no one asked for.
It's a good one, though. It was good.
And I'm going to talk about expanding your network. So I actually spoke about this in the Ruby group earlier this week. But here's a couple quick ways. It's important for you guys to get started. A lot of you immediately when you first join the business, you're messaging your family, your friends, or they're seeing your post and they're good to you. They want to support you. So that's like your immediate warm market that you're going to kind of get like your first 4 loyal customers from most likely, and they're going to support you. But eventually those people are going to either support you or not support you, and you're going to run out of those people. You're going to run out of like if you're working this business mostly through social media, you're going to eventually probably run out of even your existing friends list. So it's important to, from the beginning, start expanding your network. You're going to exasperate. Is that the right word? I think it is. It's late.
Exhaust.
Maybe, yes, sorry.
I think if you're exasperated, you're a little bit like,
there might be peppermint schnapps in my hot cocoa. But so you're eventually going to run out of your friends list. So you need to just start adding to your network now. So quick ways to do that. There is a memory jogger in your eSuite. So it's basically a tool. If you just search the documents in eSuite for memory jogger. Thank you, Christy Reedy. That will come up, and it's just something that's going to like remind you of people in your life who you may be forgetting about, and it's people to reach out to. And then I said this earlier this week in the Ruby group, but one thing you don't necessarily want to do as you join the business and start becoming friends with people on our team, you don't necessarily want to add friends from the suggested friends section of Facebook. So there's actually a section that you can go to find your suggested friends, where often is kind of just like if you're scrolling on your timeline, like every now and again, it'll just kind of like pop up like people you may know. So for me, I work for Angie's List Home Advisor, and I have a lot of friends, obviously, that I work with that I'm friends with currently. And then because Facebook is smart and knows that I'm friends with a bunch of people that work at this one place, they're going to suggest to me other people who work there. So if Angie's List people show up in my suggested friends, then they most likely are okay for me to add. But like I said, as you're becoming friends with other It Works distributors and other team members, and as your team grows, Facebook will say, oh, well, this person, this Christy person over here is friends with Jessica, and you're friends with Jessica. So I'm going to suggest that you're friends with this person. And what you're really doing then is you're just adding your teammates' potentials or teammates' friends, and you don't want to do that. So be super, super conscious of the suggested friends and don't necessarily use that as a tool to add from, because you might be stepping on your own team's toes, and no one here wants to do that to each other, obviously. So things you can and should do, though, are join groups. So when you are joining a group, it should be something that is of a genuine interest to you. Jessica talks about how we all know that she loves Murphy very much, and so she's in a group for the Weimaraner Obsessed. And our lovely Ashley, we know, is a big lippy and makeup fan. And so she very well may be in like a couple like makeup Facebook groups. I am very, very obsessed with Bath & Body Works candles and wallflowers and lotions. I worked there in college, and I've always just been a huge fan. So I am in like a couple Bath & Body Works groups. So find something that you are genuinely interested in, obsessed with. I know that like Jessica, I think you're in like maybe even, or you used to be in like some nursing groups. You used to be a nurse. If you're a teacher, there's probably teaching groups. If you work out a lot, health and fitness. So join these groups, but don't go in and like start posting about it works, or don't like not interact with people. You want to make sure that you're just interacting like a normal member participant of the group and build relationships with people. And then you can start adding those people as friends. Another way that you can do this is like whenever I travel, I'll like check in at a location, and then I can go find other people that have been there. That's obviously like a common interest we've had. Or boutiques. There's a lot of like actual physical brick and mortar boutiques, or there's a lot of online boutiques these days. So if there's a like online shop that you love, go to their page and then go through their feed and like look at their pictures or things that they've posted, and look at the people who've liked and commented on that, because that tells you that those people are active on social media. So not only do they have a common interest with you, but they're also active on social media, and that's a bonus, obviously. Like, you don't want to add people who post on Facebook once every 6 months and they're really just like a lurker. And then this was a tip that I think maybe I think it was Kelsey Thornton maybe said this once. I'm not sure, but it's a great tip. She said that she actually goes to, like on Facebook, there's ads, obviously. So she would go to ads for like other protein shakes, or like the tummy tea, or the 310 shakes or something like that. I don't know, whatever. But so she would go to those ads, and people who would comment or like it and like say they were interested or wanting more information, she would go and friend all of those people, because there's someone who's obviously interested in weight loss or protein shakes or something like that. So I think that's a great tip. If you can find like another product on the market that's maybe similar to something that we have, and then just go start adding people from that page, because you know that they have an interest in what we have to offer. And you have to truly believe that like what we have is like nothing else out there. Our products are incredible. We know they work. We know they're affordable. We know that they're not made of like crazy chemicals that aren't good for you. And so the key with all of this, no matter where you are adding people from, is to interact and connect with people. Like we always say, like, we can give you all the tips in the world, but if you're not implementing any of it, it's all for naught. So don't go through and like add all these people if you're not going to be interacting and messaging and connecting with them. So we talked about this before, but I will kind of show you guys something that is new, and this is because of the way that Facebook is changing a little bit. It really wants to like show you people that are interacting with you more so. So as you're expanding your network, like today I was in a group and a girl said something and I felt bad for her and I wanted to help her. So I took a screenshot of her post, and then I like reacted to it. I sent her a friend request. Then I sent her a message, and I sent the screenshot that I took of her post. And then after I sent the message, I went back to her post and I said, hey, I just messaged you, and sent like a little kissy face. So this girl, you can see here, like I messaged her, sent her the picture, and guess what? I don't know if you guys can see that, but she responded to me. Like most people, if you're just interacting with them in a group, like, and you comment, they might just like scroll right past it because other people are commenting. They may not accept your friend request, but this girl accepted my friend request and she messaged me back. So now we already have a thread going. If I then decide to message her about the business, we already have our conversation going. And since Facebook saw that she interacted with me personally through a message, that means she's more likely to see me on her newsfeed. So again, with all these tips that we've given you for expanding your network, just make sure that you're actually interacting and building that relationship with people.
Perfect. I love that. And that's so true. Like you want, because like she said, even, with posting, even you have to remember, because I remember when I started this, I told Trista the night that I joined, I was like, I don't know that I want to be one of those people that posts all the time. Like, I don't know if I want to be one of those people. And she was like, Jess, look, you can run this business. This is your business. So you do what you want to do with it. She said, but let me ask you this question. And thank God she asked me this question, because I wouldn't be where I am today had she not said this to me, I swear. But she said, if you had not seen me post about this every day for the last 4 or 5 months, would you be joining my team right now? And the answer was no, absolutely not. I joined her because she was excited. She was having fun. She was being consistent, guys. So, but with that, you have to remember though, when you have those feelings, because you probably, if you're like me, I'm over this now, thankfully, but for the longest time, I cared way too much what people thought about me, like way too much. And, but what helped me like get out of that, number one, was this is my family, my dreams, my goals. They're not paying my bills. They're not taking my kids to Disney. So I kind of had to get over that. But also though, you have to remember there is like a teeny tiny percentage of your actual friends list who see your posts. So here's the deal. It's like 7 to 10% that's that low of your friends list see something that you post. So let's say I post about greens right now. Only, let's say 8% of my entire friends list is going to see that post. So what if I didn't post about greens again for a week, right? Then what? So I would think, to me, well, nobody's interested. And this is what I hear all the time. Well, I've tried. Nobody's interested. Nobody's buying. But you have to remember that there's so few people actually seeing your post. That's why it's so important to be consistent. That's why it's so important for you to be out there with your open sign every single day, because you want, let's say I'm posting today, tomorrow, Tuesday, and Sarah does not see my post. But then I post about it on Wednesday and she sees it and she wants to know more information. So you have to know that you are not bombarding your friends list with all of your posts, because they're very rarely even seeing it. Okay. So you have to have that in the back of your mind. So you have to get over that fact. All right. And then also, to go off of what Sarah said, I think when I first started, I think if I could tell you something that I wish I would have started earlier in this business, it would have been adding to my network. Adding friends. I had 200 friends on Facebook, and I wish that I would have started adding friends a lot earlier than I did, because I would say 90% now, probably more than that, of anybody that joins my team or buys a product from me is not somebody that I knew before this. Okay. And something that I did, the first thing that I did for that was I went to like my mom's friends group, my mom's friends, my aunt's friends, anybody that wasn't like affiliated with It Works or wasn't selling something, I would go to their friends list and add their friends because we have some mutual friends in common. And I mean, I've sold tons of stuff to my mom's friends, so that's a good place to start too, is like friends and family that aren't selling something, add their network, just expand that way. But that was perfect. Thank you, Sarah.
You're welcome.
Okay, Christy Reedy is going to talk to us Tell us about yourself, and then she's going to talk about our loyal customer program. I think something that I hear a lot of when people get started is, how do you talk about the loyal customer program? How do I do this? First, you have to know that it's freaking amazing. Like, it is amazing. So, Christy's going to talk to us about that.
Hi, everybody. Christy Reedy. I joined March of this year, and then right at the 6-month mark or the 5-month mark, I can't remember. I think it was right at 6. I went diamond, and I joined without having tried a product. I joined under Erica Radford, Starsay Stewart, maiden name. Erica Radford. After watching her, I was also watching Jessica, because her husband Andy and I worked together. And Jessica, it was when you hit that big bonus that I was like, okay, time to join. So that was was a big deal to me. And so I had gained about 40 pounds and was hating it. And I had tried other things like exercise and eating less, and that wasn't working. So I was excited to try the products. And excited to make some extra money. Our oldest is 14, getting ready to turn 15, and our youngest is 12, getting ready to turn 13, and felt like they were kind of slipping through our fingers, and wanted to just get to take some more family vacations. So our big goal was to take a trip to Hawaii before Brett graduated from high school, and 6 months later we were able to book that trip. So I'm super excited. Keep growing and putting more things on our dream board. So I'm going to talk about the loyal customer program just a little bit. First thing I want to talk about is benefits for the loyal customers first. As far as loyal customers, when you're talking to potential customers, the big thing is probably the 40% off discount, and that's for life. Like, once they join as a loyal customer, they get that discount for life, whether they keep their auto shipment on or not. They earn 10% back on every purchase, and which comes in the form of perk points. These perk points are a lot like Kohl's Cash, and people get Kohl's Cash. So when you're talking to them, I always make the analogy to Kohl's Cash because people understand how that works. It also makes them eligible for all the great deals that come out, all the new products that get dropped. Our loyal customers are always eligible for those products. And in fact, I will say, even loyal customers of mine that have shut off their auto shipments, usually when great deals come around or new products drop, they're the first ones to get on and order those products. So, even if they've shut off their auto shipment, don't count them out, because people buy products as needed. And so, a lot of times it's a big volume booster for the people that are loyal customers when there are great deals that come around. The benefits for us as distributors is if people join as loyal customers, you've got volume for the next 3 months at minimum. And a lot of times, if we do a good job of following up with loyal customers and making sure we've got them with the right products and making sure we know what their goals are, they'll continue with their auto shipment even beyond that. The other thing, every loyal customer I have, I look at as a potential distributor. If they love the products, that's step one, I think, in becoming a distributor. People who order lots of products, I always have conversations with them about the benefits of joining as a distributor, because you get paid for using the products. One of the questions I get asked by some of the new people on my team, they see people, especially if they're following leaders, which I would strongly encourage you to do. What's the difference between a loyal customer, a product model, and a product tester? And really, there is no difference. It's all the same thing. It's just a difference in how you word different posts, because sometimes being a product tester appeals to some people. Sometimes the loyal customer program, calling it a loyal customer, appeals to other people. So I try to post in both ways. I find that people who I don't know that I'm messaging with, the product tester, that 90-day challenge, seems to work with people I don't know as well, because they get that mutual benefit. Like, if you help me out for 90 days being a product tester or helping me put pictures or testimonials in my portfolio, then you get the benefit of the 40% discount. but I explain it in both ways. It just depends on what the post was originally that they are responding to, or the message that I've sent out. Just to explain the loyal customer program just a little bit, people can purchase in a couple of different ways. They can pay the full retail price. Honestly, in the 8 months or 9 months that I've been doing this, I've only had one person do that, just because it's so much more expensive. You can sign up as a loyal customer either by paying a $50 membership fee and just making that one purchase and not having an auto shipment set up, or you can commit to buying at least one product for 3 months, and you can switch those products up. I always try to talk to people about that option just because it's the much cheaper option. Worst case scenario, if you start with one product and you're just not a fan and there's nothing else you want to try, you could buy a bottle of essential oil, a $15 bottle of oil for month 2 and 3, and still come out ahead of that $50 membership fee. And you're still a loyal customer for life. But most people understand the benefits of being a loyal customer and waiving that $50 membership fee. All right, night buddy, love you. So I wanted to talk just a little bit about messaging people and kind of how you get that price in there. When you're talking with people about the price, first of all, when you're messaging, if someone has shown interest, or if you're just straight up messaging someone, don't tell the price until people actually ask for it. And then when people ask for the price, you're going to respond by leading with the retail price and then saying, but with the loyal customer discount, you could get it at this price, or with the 90-day product tester discount, you could get it at my 40% off cost, which is, and so they always see what the savings is in those numbers. And then that's the end of that particular message that you send. Don't go into trying to sell the product even more. Just give them the retail price, but you can get it at my cost, and give that 40% off cost also. And I'll actually put, when we continue talking, I'll put an example of that in the comments. The other piece of that is, even if someone, because sometimes you have a conversation going back and forth with a potential and then they go radio silent for whatever reason, always follow up with them, because you never know, what the reason is. The reason is for them kind of stopping that communication. A lot of times, people are parents and we always put ourselves last. And so, something could have come up, but usually when I check back in with people, people will say, oh, sorry, I forgot. So always, follow up with people. I always say, I still have a few spots open if you're still interested. Or I'll say, I know you were interested in the ThermoFit last month. We still have some spots available. If there's a sale and I know that they were interested at some point in a particular product, but they didn't end up signing up at that time, I always follow up with them. What am I forgetting?
That's perfect.
Okay.
I think sometimes we get like, oh gosh, I think some people look at our loyal customer program as they don't want to tell people about it because it's 3 months, when actually, in actuality, it's a really great program. It's a lifetime savings program. They're getting a huge deal. Plus, you have to remember, guys, that our products are going to be are naturally based, right? So fruits and vegetables, herbs, plant-based products. So we don't want our customers to use something for a month and be like, oh, it didn't do its thing for me. You have to give those products some time to work, which is one of the reasons they set that up. But they also set that up because they want to help us build residual income. Like Christy said, that's over 3 months where if you get new customers every single month, your income is just compounding onto each other. So it's actually a really, really, really good program. I can tell you that I have 0 people sign as retail customers. 0. Reason being is that I'm excited when I talk to them about a loyal customer program. Even if they're like, I don't really want to do 3 months. What I say to them is hey, I appreciate your business either way, but I just really hate for you to spend more money than you need to. And that catches their attention. So then, like Christy said, once you give them that, like ThermoFit. Well, ThermoFit retails for $65, but as a loyal customer, you can actually get it for $39. And they're like, oh, well, what's a loyal customer? And then I send them my little blurb that I have. I'm going to read it to you. If you want me to send it to you, message me and I'll send it to you. I save this in my notes. This is what I send to every single person. And like I said, 100% of the people sign as loyal customers, because it doesn't make sense to get one product for full price when you could get 2 or 3 months worth of it for about the same price. Like, that doesn't make sense, right? So when somebody says like, well, what's a loyal customer? Then I will say, it's the way to go, in my opinion. As a loyal customer, you get 40% off of products, plus another 10% back in rewards points. You can to use as to purchase items. To be a loyal customer, you agree to buy at least one product a month for 3 months. If you do that, it works will waive the $50 loyal customer fee, but your products do not have to be the same every month. It's completely up to you. After 3 months, you can continue to ship your shipments and start earning even more rewards, or you can turn it off. Even if you decide you're done after 3 months, you're going to be considered a loyal customer for life, and you're always going to get 40% off if you want to come back and make a purchase. You can get 2 and sometimes 3 months worth of products for less than one retail purchase. It really is an awesome program. So even just in that little blurb, I've talked about how great it is. And like, basically like, you're nuts if you don't do this, kind of, you know what I mean? That's what I send to every single person. And like I said, if you want me to send you that, I will. I actually think I put that maybe in the file section of Boss Babes. It may be in there.
Did you mention, sorry, the other thing that people get, I think, you know, a lot of people have a Sam's Club or a Costco membership. Was that part of the blurb?
I don't have that in there, but I do bring that up sometimes. If they ask even more questions after that, I'll usually say like, oh, do you ever go to Kohl's? And they'll be like, yeah. I'm like, well, especially like when I'm explaining perk points, that's how I explain it. Is, you know, would it be awesome? Like if you go, like, I don't know about you, but I go to Target all the time. They don't give me anything back, you know, or do you ever get Kohl's cash? I'm like, that's exactly what our perk points are like. Like you get money for spending money, basically.
Yeah. And that's how with the Sam's Club or like Costco thing, you pay a membership fee to get the wholesale pricing. And then, you know, you could do that with It Works, or you could buy for 3 months. And most people, like I know for me, I wasn't going to lose 40 pounds in a month.
Yeah.
So most people, when they join, there's some kind of health reason, even if it's for skin. You know, most people join because they have a reason and they're trying a product, and you're not going to get results in 1 month. And when we mention that to people too, they're like, oh yeah, that's true.
I think that's important too, especially if you do have somebody that's giving you slack about 3 months. I very often will say that. Is we're going to want to give this some time. Like I know you have some weight loss goals, and that's not going to happen in 3 weeks. So you're going to want to use these products, you know, for at least for the next couple of months, so that you can get the best results that you can get. So anyway, like just talk to people. You don't ever want to just say like, well, you can get 40% off, but like then you're going to have to, you know, buy something for 3 months, or like if you talk to them in a way where it's actually a good thing, because it is. You know, they're okay with it. So just, you have to change your how you're relaying that.
So one more thing, I'm sorry, and then I'll be quiet. I try to avoid the word auto shipment at all costs, because it just scares people. And I don't know why, but it does. And so I don't either. You know.
Something important to know is treat your loyal customers well, guys. Like Christy said, over 60% of our loyal customers become teammates, become distributors. So if you're working with them, getting them on a product that they like, and you're following up with them and letting them know that you care, a lot of times they're going to join your team. So make sure you're checking in with them. You know, in Diamond Dreams and Boss Babes in the file section, there are, you know, what to expect with the cleanse, or really good, you know, wrap instructions, system instructions. So anytime I have a customer order something like that, I will mail them a thank you card along with one of those instructions, just so I make sure that they're doing it correctly, because I want them to have good results, right? And then this is also, I have in Boss Babes and the Diamond Dreams page, is how I follow up with my loyal customers. So this is just a sheet that I fill this in with their information when I sign them up. And then I keep an accordion file, guys, that's just alphabetized with their info in there. And then, so you can do this however you want. This is just how I keep organized with it. And then I just go on Google and print out just a blank calendar sheet. And I actually fill in their name with the day that their auto shipment's going to run. So I know, like, you know, when to follow up with them before their next shipment goes out. How are you liking it? You know, just a reminder, you're going to have an order go out on the 5th. Do you want to make any changes? You know, do you have any questions? That's how I personally keep track. What you don't want to do is sign customers and then just go dead, right? Because you want to be interacting with them, following up with them, because you want them to order for a really long time. And if you can get them on a product that really changes their quality of life, they're not going to want to stop ordering from you as long as you're treating them well. But again, they may also want to join your team as a distributor. So make sure you're following up. Okay. Lindsay Muffler. And we're almost done, guys. So thank you for hanging in here with us. We are going to talk to Miss Lindsay about just kind of how to initially reach out to some people that maybe we want to have on our team. Go for it, girl.
All right. Hey, guys. I'm going to really try to keep this short and sweet. I know everyone's getting sleepy and a lot of us have to work tomorrow. So just hang in with us for a few more minutes and we'll wrap this up. So my name's Lindsay. I have been with the company for a little over a year now. I think we joined in August or September of 2016. That's pretty much it. We went Diamond, I think, in maybe 6 months. So I feel like we kind of went a little bit slower than everyone else, but again, it's just kind of like you work the business how you feel comfortable. I don't want to say I always think that you should run with the momentum when you have it, but I think everyone's going to be on their own journey, and don't compare yourself to other people as far as your progress, and don't get discouraged in that way. So messaging, like Ashley said earlier, messaging is kind of planting the seeds with people, and your posting every day is going to be watering those seeds and really helping and to work together in that aspect. Messaging is still something that, oh, my laptop almost just fell off my couch. Messaging is still something that I struggle with personally for a couple different reasons. I still have those people that I'm intimidated to message. Sarah mentioned earlier just kind of prejudging people and whether or not they need this opportunity. And I think that's so important not to do, but it's really hard to do sometimes. I also, struggle with not wanting to come off as spammy or anything like that. So I think that's important to take into consideration when you're reaching out to somebody. So posting is not asking, messaging is asking. So when you are reaching out to people, you just want to make sure that you kind of make it personal for that person. So keep it simple. Don't overwhelm them with a bunch of information. But what I like to do is I keep 2 or 3 like baseline messages in my notes section of my phone. And I think that's important for all aspects of this business. I think you will shortly kind of find out what people are going to be asking you. You're going to be answering the same questions over and over. And that's so helpful to have those quick answers already saved in your phone. And you can copy and paste them and then change them up how you need to for that specific situation. So for messages, I have like 2 or 3 templates that I like to use. And depending on how I know the person, how long I've been friends with the person on social media, kind of like what walk of life they come from, I guess, so to speak, I'm going to approach them a little bit differently, if you want to call it that. So for example, I always like to start with some kind of compliment or question or something that lets them know that you have been taking interest in their personal life. So, hey girl, I really like that sweater you're wearing in this picture. Where did you get it? Or, oh, your kids are so cute. Like, I have 3 kids too, blah, blah, blah. You obviously don't want to be like stalker-esque about it, but just really make it personal. Let them know that you are taking interest in something in their life, aside from just wanting them to join your team. And then from there, you can just go and say, do you have a need for an extra income? Or have you ever given any thought to making an extra income from your phone? I see you're a working mom. Does it appeal to you to be able to stay at home? Just really, like I said, take an interest in their personal life and put yourself in their shoes. If you were in their shoes, what aspect of it works would appeal to you? And kind of target that aspect, I feel like. Let's see. We do have some pages and resources online. If you go to any of the team pages and in the search bar, if you just type in messaging, you can get any, it'll pull up like any post in the past that people have referenced for examples and stuff like that for messaging. So there are resources out there if you just feel like stuck or you're scrambling to make a post that day. We also have like a signing loyal customers and distributors page where it has examples for posting and messaging. And I think just don't, if you are going to those pages and using those example messages, really make sure that it sounds like you when you're sending that message. So, and that goes for posting also. If you are using other people's post ideas, which nobody ever minds if you do, definitely use them for inspiration, but really, really make sure before you send it or before you post it that it's representing you and not the person that you copied it from. So if you have to use some different wording or whatever, I think that's about it. Do you have any other?
I was just going to say, I think getting started, something important to know is I think sometimes we get really excited about starting our new business and we just think that we're going to start posting and then we're just going to have this flood of people come to us, right? But that's not reality, right? So for the most of us, we have to go to people, and you have to know that people are going to want to watch you for a while. So whether you got started and you're like, oh my gosh, like I had a handful of people that I just knew were going to order from me or I knew would support me and they haven't yet. I want you to know that you're not alone. Okay. I was there too. Most of my family still to this day hasn't ever ordered anything from me. Okay. But it doesn't matter because we're open to an entire world on social media. So that really doesn't matter. That is not going to make or break your success. But you do have to know that you're going to have to reach out to some people. And especially when I said like earlier, like with your Ruby chart and filling this in with people you want on your team, don't sit around and wait for them to come to you because they may not feel comfortable enough to come to you. They may not have ever do that. And they may not do that for a year. So it's so important for you to know, like, if there's somebody that you're like, oh my gosh, like she would be so good at this, or he would be so good at this, just let them know that. It doesn't have to be awkward or weird, just as simple like, hey, I don't know if you've thought about this at all, but I know that we would have so much fun doing this together. I would love for you to join my team, or let's make some money together. Will you do this with me? And I think that's what I said to Sarah. Honestly, I was like, I have no idea what I'm doing. I'll be honest with you. But like, you're one of my best friends and I know we would have fun. So how about we make some money together? And she was like, okay, so it doesn't have to be this big drawn out thing. Like just tell somebody, or like, you're already all over social media. Why don't you make some money with it? Or, hey, I know you've been talking about needing a second job. So why don't you do this with me? Let's work from our phones together. So just being able to have conversations with people, guys, is going to get you to your goal a whole lot quicker than just posting. Because like Lindsay said, posting is not asking, but actually like talking to people, having conversations with people and being excited about what you're doing is going to make them excited to be a part of this with you. So don't ever feel bad about that. Okay. Does anybody have any questions before we hop off for the night? And if you do, you can put them in the chat or unmute yourself. Another thing, make sure you guys are following up with people. We touched on that a little bit tonight, but I think Sarah, you can tell me the exact number on this because you're my sales girl, but it's something like 7 to 14 times or something people have to be followed up with before they will commit to something. So that could be a product. Maybe somebody even like comments on one of your posts about a product, and then you send them some information and then they don't respond to you. And you're like, what the heck? You're like, you asked me. Or maybe they tell you like, I'm going to order on Saturday, and then Saturday comes and they ignore you. And you're like, what the heck? Totally normal, guys. It's totally normal. You have to remember, like we talked about earlier, people get busy, people get forgetful. It's hot, so it is your job to make sure you're following up with them. Like, hey, put in some orders today. Would you like me to get yours in? Or, hey, are you still interested in ordering the greens? I'd love to get that in for you. And 90% of the time, they're like, I'm so sorry, I totally forgot, because they don't have our sense of urgency. So make sure you're following up with people. And a lot of this business is that, okay? It is following up with people no matter how many times that it takes.
I followed up with a girl 9 times before she said yes.
See?
Yes.
Absolutely.
There's people say, they'll say your lack of urgency is not their emergency. So if you're not following up with them, and talking to them about it, you have to remember life happens. Like for us, it's at a forefront of our mind because we're trying to get customers. We're trying to do this, but this is not as nearly as important to them, especially if they didn't come to you and you went to them asking them to do something. Life happens. I can't tell you how many times people text me and I read it, but then the phone rings or the kids want something or the dog, and then I am very much like a notification person. Like I wish on text messages that I could mark it as unread. There's so many times in my email inbox that I read something and then I go back and mark it as unread. That signals to me that I need to go back to it later. I wish I could do that with text. But so remember that life happens. People aren't, and of course in our minds we're always like, oh my gosh, they hate me, they're not going to buy, and we get dramatic about it. No, life just happens. So just keep following up with them. And if they they'll eventually tell you no or buy. So don't, just keep doing it.
I've actually had people tell me they've been waiting for me to contact them. And I'm like, what? So, I don't know. People wait for crazy reasons. So like Jessica said, it's our job to ask.
Yep. Make sure you're getting a launch party scheduled if you haven't yet, whether it's online. You can do a live online or over a couple days or in person. Make sure you have done that too. In-person parties are awesome because you want people to be able to smell stuff, taste stuff. That's so fun. So if you're local, then I would try to do that. And if not, do an online party. But this is what I want you to know, because this happens a lot with people and they get down and out right away. Maybe you have an online party and nobody orders anything. Okay. It's okay. It is absolutely okay, because so much of this business is about planting seeds. It's about we want your friends and family to know about what you're doing and about the awesome products that we have. So as long as you continue on, sharing those and posting about those products and taking the products and following up with people and doing your part after that party, it's a success, okay? Because they're going to eventually order from you or want to know more about the business. So please do not take how maybe an online party goes, or even if you had a launch party and nobody was able to come, do not let that dictate in your head how successful you're going to be with this business, because it's completely irrelevant. Absolutely not. Okay. It's just a way for us to introduce what we're doing to our friends and family. So with that said, if you haven't had a launch party, make sure you talk to your enroller about getting that going, because we want to start planting those seeds. And, if we can get some loyal customers, fantastic. But remember that you have 30 days to get your $100 shopping spree. So 4 loyal customers in 30 days get you a $100 shopping spree. The Christmas cash is still going on. So you get points for distributors, points for loyal customers, and that's completely unlimited through the end of the month. So make sure you're taking advantage of that. But like I said, like we all said, if you're waiting for people just to come knock on your door and you haven't got your 4 loyal customers, or you're waiting on your 5th to get your $100 Christmas cash, make sure you're going and reaching out to your friends and family. Go through your party pad that you got with your kit, or going through those product sheets, and make a list of, a couple people per product that just kind of makes you think they would like this, and ask them, would you be a 90-day product tester for me? Or would you try this product for me? I really think you're going to like it. I know that you have horrible hips and joints and whatever. I think you're going to like the relief. Would you try it for me? And a lot of people will say yes as long as you ask, but they may not come to you initially. So, get out there and ask your friends and family. We often talk about our chicken soup list. Who would you call if you were sick as a dog and needed somebody to bring you chicken soup? Who would those people be? And those are going to be probably the people that are going to be your initial customers. But you may just have to personally ask them. Okay. So we just have to swallow our pride a little bit and just say, I'm really excited. I don't know if you've heard, but I just started this business. I'm really excited. I need some initial customers to try some products and let me know what you would think. I think you would love our hair, skin, and nails. Would you be willing to try it for me for 90 days? That's what I did. And that'll get you your initial customers right away. So reach out to people, get those customers going, ask questions, and just have fun with this, guys. I know it's a lot of information, but it really is very simple. It's just finding out like how you want to work the business and, getting yourself organized and how it's going to work into your day. And just have fun with it and run, and take advantage of everything they're throwing out at us, because you can have crazy success with this business so quickly, but you have to take advantage and you have to be willing to actually use these tools and put them into action. Okay. So thank you guys so much for hopping on tonight. I hope that helped. If we
Jess, I think somebody maybe had a question.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I feel like, Andre, did you have a question? I don't want to call you out, but I feel like I saw your hand go up at some point.
Sorry, I was just going to add real quick on the add into network, something that I have been doing recently. It's as you look at those friends' posts, you can see the people that are coming down on their posts, and then you can see those people that are interacting, because you want to add people that are actually active in social media.
Yeah, good
you want to add people that are not, active in social media. So that's something that I have been doing recently, and that's something that I've been recently. Most of the people that I've been interacting with, I have been adding them like that.
That's a great idea. I love that. Good tip. Thank you.
No problem. Have a good night.
All right, guys. Have a wonderful night. Bye.